Drag performances out in the open, like this one at Nashville Pride last year, will now be illegal in Tennessee. The state's Republican governor signed legislation restricting drag shows on public property and in front of children. For more on this, let's bring in Channing Gerard Joseph. He is a journalism professor at Princeton University. And Professor, thank you very much for joining us. Can you break down the effect that this legislation will have on these performers, both in Tennessee and the impact and what it says around the country?
It's a huge blow for the LGBTQ community nationwide, not only in Tennessee. Drag is really an important part. It's a central part of LGBTQ culture, and it's increasingly an important part of American culture at large, thanks to RuPaul's Drag Race. You know, who doesn't enjoy watching a good drag performance?
So you know what I thought was kind of interesting about this bill is it doesn't actually use the word drag, right? It says, you know, it talks about adult-oriented performances. And I wondered, like, how do you define drag then? Because it could be an original portrayal of Shakespeare where they didn't have any female actresses. I mean, you could say that was a drag show. Would something like that be banned? I want you to kind of take people back because a lot of people have never seen a drag show. They don't know where this came from, what the performance is all about. Can you kind of just give us a little history of drag, the origins, and what a good drag show is?
Well, you know, drag dates back quite a while. You know, cross-dressing, men dressing as women, women dressing as men, and everything in between has been going on for thousands of years, obviously. But the word drag and the idea of particularly a party where people get together dressing as the other gender, that dates back to the middle of the 19th century. Was particularly popular among formerly enslaved people in Washington, D.C. And that's where the idea of a drag queen comes from. Actually, the organizer of the balls in Washington, D.C. called himself the queen of the balls. So that's where drag queen comes from. And so the drag started out as private performances, private gatherings where everybody participated and enjoyed themselves, and it was about self-expression and celebration of life. And it was only later, sort of, that the outside world was allowed to look in, and that's where we are today, where everybody can get a glimpse of really people embracing their gender identity, their expression, who they are, exploring who they are. And that's what drag is about. It's about expressing who you are, being confident, and not being afraid. And it's always been political. It's always rubbed people the wrong way.
Is it adult entertainment? Because that's how it's kind of being defined under this law.
You know, it has increasingly been described that way as a way to sort of, you know, to dirty the name of drag, essentially. You know, Drag Queen Story Hour is not adult entertainment. It's specifically for children to be able to learn acceptance and learn confidence and learn about self-expression. And that's not the same thing as a drag performance at a nightclub.
Now, Professor, you know, we were looking at a pullout from that bill just moments ago in the graphic, and we're talking about an adult cabaret performance is how they're defining it. Is there a sense of, with this bill, I don't know if it's specific or looking ahead here, but what else could this end up impacting as we look down the line of other forms of entertainment?
It really, a lot of the, you know, this bill in Tennessee, it's just one of more than a dozen bills that are being considered around the country. And a lot of the bills are written broadly enough that they can be interpreted to include Drag Queen Story Hour, and they can be interpreted to include a performance of a Shakespeare play. And that's one of the dangers, right? Because it doesn't just apply to it doesn't just apply in the case of, you know, what they're describing as adult-oriented performances, where we think about something sexual because the laws themselves are written very broadly.
You know, as you pointed out, there are other laws like this popping up across the country. In conjunction with this law, there's another one that has to do with banning of a gender-affirming care for transgender youth. You're sort of a historian in this. Why do you think we're seeing these laws popping up now?
Well, the reality is that it's because the people on the right feel that they're losing the battle for the hearts and minds of America. Americans, for the last 20 years, particularly looking at 20 years ago, actually, 2003 was the year that consensual gay sex was made legal throughout the nation by the Supreme Court case, Lawrence v. Texas, actually. So in the last 20 years, think about the expansion of rights for LGBTQ people. And that expansion, you know, particularly the younger generation of people, really accepts LGBTQ people as human, as part of the community, and that rubs people the wrong way. And because our you know, our attitudes in general have loosened, they feel that we have to bring laws in order to restrict behavior, because, you know, it's not just enough to make people make people feel ashamed of themselves anymore.
Channing Gerard Joseph, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.